Toboggan morning to you. Toboggan eve. Toboggan afternoon. The toboggans are festive, Christmassy. Are they? I don't know enough about toboggans.
Then why did you start with toboggan?
Because I felt like I was in my chair. Yeah, I was tobogganing in to Bilbo Buggins. I was. What is a toboggan?
Is it not like a canoe type thing?
It's a canoe for snow. I think it's a canoe for snow.
Sorry, I'm just gonna quickly address. Zul44 has the question: Is this part of the fundraiser for the animal shelter? That's a really good question, Zul. We probably should have, but we didn't, because it's all kind of self-contained to a. Sorry, I realized the screen's kind of cut off, so I was just doing a lot of this, and you could just see my shoulders popping. It's just a lot of this.
Tobogganing away.
It's all contained into the 1 week. So there was a lot getting tonight organized. And then to bring the charity stream side of it into it was kind of chaotic as well. I am looking, just in case, because it's a good question. And do you mind if we start with it, Ben, just because we were on topic?
Yeah, I bet this stream. I bet charity next week. So, yeah, because this is sort of a hype for that in a way.
Well, this is a hype in its own right. This is class. Like, this is... But next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, D8 Dungeon, alongside some amazing friends of ours, are getting together to raise money for Limerick Animal Welfare, a no-kill animal rescue shelter that many of the D8 Dungeon crew have gone to adopt some of our best friends.
It's where they found me.
It's where we got Ben. And Kim, if you're watching this, please take him back. So
it's a no takey backsies shelter. Actually, they're probably very good in that. If it's not a good fit, they're very friendly and they will kind of make sure the right animal goes to the right home.
The Law are a wonderful organization that rescue and take in cats, dogs, rabbits, goats, horses. Pretty sure there's chickens, and that animal has a home for life until they are rescued. And even if they aren't rescued, they have a warm, comfortable space in animal welfare. And at this time of the year, for lots of us, bills tend to be are a lot to take on. And Law are running through some fairly hefty bills at the moment. So we want to do our best to try and raise money for them all next week. So join us. I am looking, and if anybody knows where I can get some, because I'm running the first game on Monday night, and one of my charity donation things is, those beard baubles.
Oh yes,
I am going to try and put as many of those on per donation, as physically much as possible can go on this beard and mustache over the 2.5-3 hours. So every donation gets a bauble attached. So we'll see how long that lasts, and how annoying that gets as I try to DM a game. Hey, Telepathic Narwhal, welcome in. We're just getting started, and I'm really, really excited for tonight, Ben.
Yes, I can't wait. It hit me just before we went live. I'm pretty sure this is the last of a Ben and Declan for the year, because the next one would be like Stevens' Day, and I presume we're not going to stream on Stevens' Day.
Oh no, it's in your contract. You're streaming on Stevens' Day.
Oh man. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna be so full of food.
read the fine print, my friend.
I didn't even read the big print. I saw my name in a piece of paper, and my ego said, "Yes, please."
I'll sign that.
Your name goes first. We're gonna put the N on the side. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Damn you, alphabet. There's so much planned for this evening, and this is as much about sharing some of our favorite creators, writers, artists, streamers, and just good, awesome folk out there, as it is about kind of our favorite stuff. And this isn't like, none of the products that we are mentioning this evening are sponsored. that's not what this is about. And this also isn't a big, let's go spend
Not that
loads
we're against it. If you want to send us free shit, I'll sell out immediately. Don't you worry about it. My address is, and you know what I heard against. But yeah, Declan is right. That this year, the inaugural TTRPG Toy Show for Ben and Declan on a Roll is not hampered or hindered by hashtag spawns. We're just doing it because it's the stuff we love. And also, to be honest, I would outright say no if it wasn't something I loved. I'd be like, nah, get away, brand. Ew. And they're my principles.
I mean, you just said you'd sell out in a heartbeat, but okay.
It's all part of the. It's all part of the.
The media. It's all part of the media. It's all part of the media.
Yeah, keep them guessing.
But it is. So tonight we're going to be talking about we're going to be talking about different systems. We're going to be talking about gifts. We're going to be talking about ways in which you can bring a little bit of the kind of the festive spirit and the holidays to your game, your table. And we may or may not have a special guest or two, but that's for later. That's for later. The first thing that we want to talk about, and I think it's important to flag this now, is that a lot of what we get to do in this space, I don't know where Ben's gone. A lot
Sorry,
of what
I forgot. I forgot I wrote notes. I was like, well, they're going to be handy. So it's the only stream I've ever written notes for, so might as well use them. That's what I say. That's how much I care about Christmas. It's Christmas. Come on. I can't believe we've done this for a year and you haven't kicked me to the curb. More for you. Anyway,
okay,
you were saying?
I don't know what I was saying. I've completely Zool, I did a charity stream 2 weeks Saturdays ago, and I put feathers in my hair and stickers like googly eyes on myself for each $5. I love this beard idea. Okay.
Zool has no idea, but I'm double fisting cups of tea, and I got a flu jab today. I am ready to stream. So, Declan, strap in.
It's been a long day.
It's going to get longer.
What we wanted to, what we're going to start with is things that you can. I think we're going to start this evening with kind of if this is a TTRPG talk show, what we want to talk about first and foremost is your table and the people around it. So we kind of want to talk about stuff that you can do for free, stuff that you can gift to the different people sitting around your table. And for me, one of those things that I love to I do it a lot anyway, but could be nice as a gift for the DM at your table. So if you're sitting there going, "Oh, what are we getting for the DM?" You know, like last year we got dice, or we all have dice towers, we all have bits and pieces. You don't have to spend any money. Something I would suggest you do, and it's free. Run a session for the DM. Somebody around the table has definitely a system in their back pocket. They're sitting on a one-page RPG. They're sitting on a story. And I know that DM at your table, as much as they enjoy, as much as they love telling that story with you guys and your gang every week, every month, whatever it might be, in person or online. But they're probably itching to play. Like at the moment, I have a big urge to start playing. And what I admit, DMing, great, but I would love to be a player. And that's me casually hinting to the D8 Dungeon people sitting at the table. Just there's one right in front of me. No, not right in front of me. He's on the internet. And then there's a few in chat. So just casually throwing it out there. But run a game for your DM, and let them not that they relax, but let them kind of take the pressure off their shoulders for a session. And even better if it's a surprise that the whole gang shows up for a game, and the DM is surprised with a, "Hey, look, kick back, we're running this for you, and we're on board with it. Here's your character, knock yourself out." Geek Chic Tea. That doesn't sound like a gift more than it sounds like revenge tea. I'll run a horror game for you. Sounds like a threat.
Yeah, I'll emotionally torture you for anywhere between 2 to 6 hours. No problem.
Over an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Our newest player is also sometimes a DM. Yeah, like it does. I know from my own perspective. Like I always love when somebody else at the table runs a game. I go back to Lethe with Ben and the Halloween special. It was such a joy to get to sit there and be a player in my own world. Like that was such a fun experience. And Sam has done Halloween stuff before as well, where I got to play Ike, one of the NPCs in my world, and a Halloween adventure. So, yeah, means the absolute word.
My free thing, or I think we're both putting forward two. So I my first of the three things, and we also compared lists. So I just struck run a game off my list. Is if you're DM, so if to do something for free for your players is in the wonderful world of our imagination, everything's kind of free. So, run a little gift giving session between players where they can flick through their system books and pick up an item of whatever rarity or whatever power level you want, and let them all know that they can gift one of the other players at the table an item in game. And, even in the most gritty, realistic, you know, close to real world game, you can kind of let that slip a little bit for Christmas and just let, story aside, yeah, you get this nice little item. I've done this before as a person in real life because not too long ago, I had barely any money and was out for a friend's birthday. But we played D&D together, so I had no way to get them a birthday gift. So instead, I just said, "Hey, you know the way my D&D character has a lot of gold coins?" And they said, "Yeah." It's like, "I'm going to give you some of them," because I knew they were saving up for some armor in game. So I transferred literally in front of them on my phone in the spreadsheet. Was like, "That's for you." And even though it was free, it was still a nice gesture. So there's always in-game things that you can do, and potentially as part of the session you run for your GM, it can be a little bit of a shopping spree episode as well, or do a character gift exchange at your table. That's always a nice way to pass by the time with friends and sort of reflect on the year that's been or the sessions you've had so far. So yeah, don't forget the things in your game are theoretically free.
That brings me to a nice little round, and it's almost like we planned it, Ben.
Almost like we did rehearsal.
Brings me to a really, really nice segue into my other gift. And again, this is a gift for the DM. I also think it works for DMs to players and stuff like that if they have time. And also if you like a craft project. So it's not that this is totally free. Yeah, you might need a couple of supplies and stuff, but there's something wonderful, I think, about the table getting together and writing down some of their favorite moments, their favorite quotes, their favorite memories. Because I think it's if you talk to anybody who plays a TTRPG, nobody ever starts off with. So we were all sat around the table, and John started describing the scene, and the scene was this. Everyone just immediately jumps into the moment. You jump into it as if it was, you know, as if it happened, as if it was real. Because for so many of us in this space, particularly like I it's one of my favorite things about theater of the mind is that the memories always feel slightly real. They always feel because they're there, Joe. They're like really vivid dreams. Uh, there's something really wonderful, I think, about getting together as that team, as that group of players, and writing down some of your favorite moments. Maybe even taking scraps from your notes and collaging them together, uh, and giving that as a gift to the DM of like, here's all the inspiration you've given us. Here's all of those epic moments, those hard fought battles. Here's those quiet times around the campfire. Here's all the laughs that we as a group of friends have shared over the last couple of weeks, couple of months, couple of even year or longer. And I think gathering those things and just putting them together, like I like there's something really touching about that, and I am a lover of a sentimental gift. I don't care how much the thing cost. I love when somebody puts thought into it, and I think that as a gift is quite a thoughtful gift. And it does bring me to something that one of the Romancing the Dungeon players gifted me uh, about a year ago, maybe a little bit more. But it's this, and I know it's going to be kind of hard to see.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's a kind of a collage of um, art of the character, and then just a cutout of a newspaper article about the podcast and our work raising money for charity, and just yeah, it's such a wonderful. It was such a wonderful gift, and like it always sits in my office behind me. Um, yeah, and I really appreciate it. And I don't know, uh, I know Telepathic Normal was in chat a little while ago, but it is one of my favorite things I've ever gotten, and I love it a lot. So I think those are again, not say that was totally free, but there are ways to do that on a very low end budget.
Speaking of not totally free and moving kind of out of some ideas that you can gift to your friends around the table, my last idea, and this kind of ties into it genuinely is the thought that counts, and the thought doesn't need to be spending money or getting something. It can just be thinking about someone and saying, I think they'd really enjoy this. So one of the things that I love receiving as a gift um, is when someone has either read a book or a system or has any honestly anything pre-loved. I'm going to use books as an example because the nice love touch I like to do if I'm gifting on a book I've read to someone is I'll use the inside sleeve, and I'll just write a little message to them in there and say, I really enjoyed this. It reminds me of you, and I think you're really going to enjoy it as well. Because those pre-loved gifts carry all the value of sentiment, which is sort of invaluable compared to spending money or picking something up. It's kind of, and it makes me sound like such a curmudgeon, but I've such a bugbear when people give me something that I know they put no thought into and they spend money on. I'm like, I don't want this. So you know, for me personally, I'd rather not get anything than get something that was thoughtless. Which is why I think it flips when it's something pre-loved, like a book. And it's often when we do the um, D8 gift miss every year, Jim Jam Flim Flam's gift giving festival. One of the things on my wish list is usually just your favorite book that you're happy to send. Um, and I've gotten some great books from that as well. Actually, I have one. We might as well show some of the things. One of the best. No, we're going to save the best gifts we ever gotten for the end of the show, I believe. Yes. So never mind. A little tease for you out in the audience. But I think I think we covered our free. Do you have any more on your list?
No.
Nothing I'm going to give it away for free.
I'm not giving that away for free.
Yeah.
No, I have one other kind of thing, but that's for my thing later. You have your thing now.
Gotcha. Yes, I do have my thing now. Sorry, I have a thing to go to now.
The thing to go
to. Yes. We are moving into little individual segments of the show where myself and Declan will both kind of take parts chatting about gifts we love getting, and sharing kind of personal stories about what if you're going to get this gift for someone, these are the things that I think about. But everyone's kind of individual and unique, so you don't need to take what I'm saying as any sort of like actual guide. It's just a handy thing to know. And the first thing we're going to go into is TTRPG accessories. So things that can help level up the gaming experience, or are kind of bits and bobs, our little trinkets that we carry around with us playing this game. And the ones I'm going to chat about are dice. So it's a perfect like evergreen gift, whether it's a veteran player or someone totally new to the table. Gifting someone a set of dice is like time honored tradition, I think, amongst tables and friends. So here are the things I do when I'm gifting someone dice. So all the people in Romancing and Dungeon would know this. I tend to try gift player and character appropriate dice. So I do this funny thing, and I know it's not unique, and I know I'm kind of part of a little collective where I have dice sets that I associate with characters I play, and I only ever use those sets with those characters, which makes it a little difficult to just pick up a random set of dice to gift me. But if you know my character, then it makes it a little bit easier to pick up a set because you can either go by color scheme or by general theme or by all these different things. So the way I go about it is obviously thinking about the character first and then thinking about the color scheme and then going on to, I'm not going to like name check or recommend anyone in particular here because there's plenty of local dice makers. People have their favorites and there's plenty of people out there who supply these things. So as you're looking around, it's ever between like usually under $10, like $5 to $10, all the way up to sets that are like a couple of $100. So a quick little review. I'll pick up these ones, which I believe are homebrew dice. You can just go for your general acrylic dice. And I won these, I think, in a D8 dungeon drive a while ago. And they're this nice, like, if I can get them close, they're a nice, like, purpley black, which I have been using when I was on Sorcery Shenanigans. One step up for that, and kind of my favorite type of dice, sharp edge. Just can't beat a sharp edge dice. I have different versions. These just the way the light hits them and everything. Who wouldn't love those sharp edge dice? And they'll usually be in and around your kind of $20, $30, $40. So if you're kind of all pulling together as a gift, you can get a nice set of dice. Here's a little watch out. For me anyway, although I know this is going to be a divisive opinion, as you've probably seen from the die I showed you, I like solid color stuff. I don't particularly like clear resin stuff on the inside dice. So it's always worth having a look around the table at the type of dice that the person you're gifting uses to see if you can suss out what they like and don't like. So funny enough, what I do when I get dice like this as a gift, or if they come and say like a multi-pack that I bought or whatever, or it's a sort of surprise pack, I put them aside. And then I figure out as I notice people around the table, if I see someone who does like clear dice, this is going in my little mental note for I'm going to give these to them next opportunity I get. Which brings us on to, this is something I learned about myself this year. I haven't usually been a fan of metal dice, but I picked up this set of like dragon scale dice, and they're not as heavy as the usual metal dice you get. They don't make that like dent in the table or like clonk into your tray. And they've now become a set because we're traveling over the Dragon's Back Mountains in Romancing the Dungeon, a set for AJ. I'm trying to think if there's any straight up recommendations. So if you can't pick up dice, little dice bag. I got this dice bag from Declan. Usually the person you buy from will send a little branded dice bag, and they're also fun as well. And then for DMs out there, this is the very first set of dice I bought myself when I was DMing Homebrew. And I should double check. I meant to do this before the show to make sure that they still sell these. But there's a pack called Dice of Rolling. And what's really cool about this set in particular is that all the sets are the same color. So all your D6s are red, all your D10s are this green, your D20s are a nice blue, which makes it when you're rolling a lot of dice, as a DM usually does for like big attacks, really super easy to spot on the table. So I know I'm reaching just for like clump of red, need some D6s, or like clump of purple when I need some D4s. Let me double check anything in chat that's worth mentioning. And I think the first thing I spot, which is ironic in a way, is Jill, you point out the same thing I love about dice. They have to be readable. They just, I know there's really pretty ones out there. I know there's different fonts that you can get. A good friend of mine with a company called Wask Studio purposely makes unreadable dice. And that's fun, just like because it's the point. They're little D6s, but the little pips are all in the wrong order. So there's the right number of pips on each side, but they're not like organized. But that's like a novelty set of dice more than anything else. Easily readable, absolutely. And then another great suggestion from chat from Zool, spell card decks. really great gift when it comes to TTRPG accessories. So if you know that you've got a bard or a wizard or a sorcerer, especially when playing D&D, you'll usually be able to find packs of spells. And when I'm playing a magic caster or magic user, I like just putting them into little like plasticine folders so I can kind of whip them out when I need and have them on the table as well and do a little sort of like, I don't play Magic the Gathering, but I'll almost be like, okay, I've used that, great. Because I like to add variety to combat. So when I use a spell, I'll usually try use something else next round. I think that's the dice section. I think that's Dice Corner covered. So I might scoot myself back over to whoa, right on time. Hey Declan, thanks for bringing me back.
God, I'm joking. He's back. I'm joking. That was actually really handy because I was like, I'm running out of water. I'm gonna get up and go get some water.
I forgot to mention Liquid Core. Always great and a lot of fun. And also, look, between you and me, I once bought a set of dice that were scientifically like the perfect balance and probability, and they were fine to roll. It's a pretty dice. I'm not really too worried about balance. It's a game of random chance, and I've enough of them to like be taken into a little hole and bag. So yeah, pick up players, DMs, dice.
My accessory.
Yes.
If we're talking about accessories,
Yes.
again, it doesn't matter player or DM. So this is an accessory that I don't think you can play this game without, and that I know you obviously you can't play this game without dice. But a journal, a really nice journal, and some really nice pens. And I know that sounds so dorky, but I'm too far from my mic. Sorry. I was saying one of the big things for me in this space is a journal. I absolutely love a really nice paper, really nice sort of, and like that. I get one for a campaign, so you might be able to tell based on the color of this. This is my Romancing the Dungeon one, and it is very much where I write down the names of characters.
Where'd you keep that?
That never actually is in the office when we record.
Where'd you
Just in
put that?
case that is hidden. That
In the principal's office.
it's under lock and key, and the group will have to try and break in. No, I think a nice journal and some really nice pens are and again, you can get a nice journal and a nice set of pens for under €10, and sometimes you can get really nice personalized ones. But I think there is nothing quite like, especially for the note taker, in the group, that there is that sort of, hey, look, this is something I got you. I know you're always taking notes. You're always writing stuff for your character. So I thought this could be kind of nice. So again, I don't think you can go wrong with a nice journal. For me, you can go wrong with the pen. I'm left-handed, so as I'm writing, I am smudging. So as much as I love a really kind of nice nib on the pen, where you get that really nice kind of inky look, that is going to be one big smear across the page a couple of minutes in. So do make sure that the person you're gifting the pens and journal to is not a lefty. And if they are a lefty, those left-hand pens are a gimmick. They don't work.
Yeah, like I was about to say, surely the doesn't solve the smudge
No.
unless what you need is a ring on your hand with a tiny fan that dries the ink.
Dries the ink. Yeah, someone invent that, and that, and then we can go with Valkyrie Kane. Different colored pens, really good if you want to color code your notes. 100%. Like stuff for kind of player notes versus kind of character kind of journal. Kind of combat stuff could be in red. Yeah, I think there's a really nice kind of way to kind of keep the page in order then as well. So yeah, I don't think you're going to. I don't think you don't need to go out and buy like papyrus or vellum to to make it authentic around the table. I think a really nice copybook and a really nice set of pens. I also like a pencil. Like this is gonna I do
Same. Yeah.
I do I like to write in pencil sometimes.
I'm kind of tempted, and I know I would just end up distracted at the table by one of those stationary stencil kits where, like, once you make your notes, you can kind of do nice little like patterns. I'm
Mm.
getting targeted by them a lot around this time of year. So
I keep getting targeted by those like digital copybooks, where it's like write on this and then
these
yeah, one
ones,
of those. I
yeah.
keep getting ads for those, and I'm like, I know I get it. I know I'd use it for like 3 days, and I know it would sit in my bag, and then it wouldn't be charged. So
Yeah. Yeah, paper doesn't run out of battery. That's what I learned about one of these. This, I feel I'm really happy about this because I take all my notes in it and it moves onto my phone and all that kind of stuff. But um it did pain me that like 10, 15 years ago, this technology, a little bit like the PS Move controllers when they suddenly went from like €5 in the bargain bin to like you need these for VR and suddenly they were 70 quid again. I'm like, this used to be like basic stuff
mhm.
that you could just pick up a little digital notepad for like, under $50 or whatever. I have a question for you about your stationery, not for any sort of research. Do you like lines or they sort of dots?
I like lines.
The big old fat ones or the skinny little,
Yeah, it
those
was.
big old chunky
I,
lines
I
or
think
little
I
thin ones?
think I think that might have been a trap. I think you might have tried to trap me because the second I said it, I went no.
Mm.
Internally, I just went no. I just felt my whole body just shut down in that moment. I was like,
A big
yeah.
slurpy chunky
Shut
noodles
up.
of a line or some little
Look at
fucking
little
line.
line boy here.
Yeah. Uh,
That just reminds me of Dotted Line Girl from the Rugrats now.
mm.
uh,
On a serious note, I thin lines for me. I love being able to
yeah,
write really, really small.
yeah.
There's something really nice about that. Although I'm partial to a dot.
I'm gonna clip that. Uh, Ben, I'm partial to a dot.
Yeah, the template I use on this is all dots. So
Oh,
I think it's because I love that game Squares. Remember that? Where you have to draw lines on the dots, and then it's whoever can make them as squares, and you put your little initial in the square when you get one. But when you get a square, you can go again, so you can go in little. Is this my version of horses for courses?
yeah.
Am I-
I think this is your horses for course. But we've all learned horses for courses is a real thing.
Yes,
Nobody
I'm
has
not
anybody
certain this game is.
has anybody heard of that game that Ben tried to describe there a second ago? Let us know in
Mhm.
chat. Um, I'm pretty sure it was just a Ben fever dream.
Easily.
So
It's a great
uh,
game though, if you ever want to play it.
speaking of games, uh, speaking of games, I am systems. Let's start talking about systems.
Oh, just before we do, I forgot in my accessories thing, just a little pro tip. Check if your local library has a 3D printer because you can save yourself a little bit of cash by purchasing or making the digital figurine, but not like getting a company to print it, by bringing it to your local library. And your local library will be significantly cheaper, and you'll also be kind of supporting and by going and visiting and using a local library, showing that there's a need for local libraries. So yes, Valkyrie game. Me and you in Little Squares game. So yes, that was my last little tip. And also, if your DM or players are impartial to imbibe, nice bottle of something's always just a nice gift, and I count them as TTRPG accessories, so it's in that section. Yes, this stuff.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to take a look at some of the systems that we are playing ourselves, some of the systems that we want to play or pick up, and it's one of those things because like you talk to people about TTRPGs, everybody's immediate reaction is oh D&D. That's the general gist of it is people are going to have that reaction, that kind of response to it, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with kind of it being the main player, I guess. But what we wanted to do in this section is specifically talk to you about a couple of systems that uh, we either have and are like getting ready to play, or we're looking at picking up. And both of my systems are available either as hardcover or digital. And they vary. There is a kind of a common theme actually. As I look at mine, I'm like, oh yeah, they are actually kind of there's a common thread between both of them, but they're very, very different in both the system and in terms of the themes and general tone and style. Ben, what are you thinking? What are your
So I approach systems in a similar kind of way. There's a system I always buy people as a gift. Because I chances are they may or may not have it, but it's unlikely. So usually if it's someone's birthday or if it's around the kind of holiday gift giving season, I will pick up 1,000 Year Old Vampire because it's a solo journaling TTRPG, which is perfect over kind of a Christmas break because you can sit down. I've played it a bunch of times. It's a lot of fun. I didn't, funny enough, when I first sat down, because I got given it as a gift, I was like, that's such a thoughtful gift, a way to kind of play when I'm just by myself. Um, and I thought I'd be like, is this gonna feel strange? And it was actually wonderful and lovely. And so it's not the only solo TTRPG out there, but it is the one that I tend to pick up because I think it's very well put together. It's a lovely mechanic, a little bit self-guided in that you've to sort of set your own vampire rules. Like as I was playing through the first couple of times, I'm like, am I allowed to walk into places? Am I not? There's no like, this is what vampires kind of can't do. It's totally up to you. So that's the system I pick up for people, especially if I have a feeling they don't have it. So if it's anyone's birthday or around Christmas, I'll be like, hmm. And the best thing about these kind of things is because they're digital, you can sort it like say you went to someone's birthday in a pub or whatever, and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot to get them something. Nip to the bathroom, buy it online, come back and go, hey, check your inbox, because problem solved. Um, but you could definitely check on DriveThruRPG or itch.io for solo RPGs. So that was my first system recommendation. Do you want to ping pong it, or do you
yeah?
want me to? Yeah.
So my first one is from, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure this team are UK based. Um, but it's from Hatchlings Games, who uh, are a TTRPG publishing company that create games and systems for all ages. Um, I don't know if you may have heard of them from their work through Inspire Isles, which
Hmm.
is the first TTRPG system to teach British and American Sign Language. Um, and they have a system, they have a game out at the moment um, called Cryptid Creek. And it's available on their website, hatchlingsgames.co.uk. And you can pick it up hardcover if you like to have the physical book for £35, not including shipping. Or there is a digital version available for £12 on their Itch.io uh, store. So all of those things are available directly through their website again, hatchlingsgames.co.uk. And if you are a fan of shows like Gravity Falls or Hilda, or even like I would even kind of say like a little bit of those kind of young teen books like Goosebumps, even a little bit of Animorphs. That sort of bunch of friends go on an adventure in a small town vibe. If you're there for that um, sort of wholesome young adult kind of vibe. I strongly recommend picking up Cryptic Creeks. I've been reading it over the last couple of weeks, and uh, I'd really love to run a game of it offline for a bunch of friends to just sit around and play it. Because it's about like that. It's about trying to you are living in the small little town and cryptids have started to show up, and there's uh, look, it's just you kind of need to check it out. I'll drop the link to it in chat. Um, it's all about kind of friendship and kind of making your way through it a little bit. So I would strongly recommend picking up Cryptic Creeks if you're looking for sort of mystery, a little bit of horror, but like I don't think it's on the kind of complete total dark horror. It's that sort of young adult kind of horror type vibes. Um, yeah, and it is. It looks just like a really wholesome game.
Lovely. Speaking of not wholesome, my other game this tends to be a game I'll run for someone as like a gift, or I'll pick up for someone, which is 10 Candles, which I know people talk about a lot. I know it's kind of picked up this sort of, we'll hear whispers of it, and people are like, have you played this game? Because the mechanic is quite unique in that you light 10 candles. Um, and as those candles go out, you get closer and closer to everyone's players dying. So I won't spend too long chatting. I won't use my time to talk about 10 candles. There's plenty of APs out there, I'm sure. If you know me personally, you might have asked me to run a game. I will be running some games over Christmas for people. But in a similar way, something I'm looking at picking up for myself as like a system that I have on my radar is a thing called World Ending Game, which is a lovely put together series of prompts and guides that can kind of be slotted in with any system. If you've been running a very long campaign, or even like a couple of one shots, or a sort of, a 3 to 6 session story, this will give you prompts and tools and ways to bring the story to a close. So it's purposely written for when things are ending. Not that that at all is on top of mind for me with the final season of Romancing the Dungeon, at least this first kind of book in the story coming to a close. So that's on my, ooh, I'd love to get that and flick through that, because I'm sure, like anyone watching, there's sort of two types of picking up systems. There's the picking it up with the intent to run, and there's the picking it up with the intent just to enjoy and read. And sometimes they go together. But other times, like I've definitely some on my shelf that I've never played, but I just really enjoyed reading through the rules and picking up some good tips along the way. Trying to think if there was anything. I've one more for what I'm looking forward to next year playing, because I know it's on the way for the Kickstarter. So I might finish after giving you some space.
Yeah. My other game, and again, like I said, it's in the same vein as kind of Cryptic Creeks from Hatchlings Games, is Trail of Cthulhu from Pelgrane Press, and it's based on the gumshoe system. So if you're into kind of investigation or kind of detective stories, or those types of RPGs, um, I have not, like, so I have Cryptic Creeks. I don't have Trail of Cthulhu, but like Ben, it is one of those games where I'm like, kinda, do I want to get it to run it, or do I want to get it to just read it and learn about it and know about it? Um, Again, very, very similar in terms of retail price. Uh, it's £32 for the hardcover version, 16.95 for the PDF or digital version of it. Um, and like Hatchlings Games, Pelgrim Press are a UK and Irish based TTRPG publisher, and they are the system. If you're into your kind of eldritch and your love, like your kind of Lovecraft creatures and cults, there's, from what I have been lucky and kind of curious enough to delve into, um uh it it kind of takes a lot of the kind of the Cthulhu stuff and it adds another element to it, like a new element to it. And I think the thing that kind of draws me to it is, and I'm going to read this specifically off the website because I think I want to make sure everyone gets this. Uh, Trail of Cthulhu is designed for investigative play. The challenge is in interpreting clues, not finding them. The game also offers two modes of play: pulp for the desperate action feel of Robert E. Howard or Indiana Jones, and purist, full of philosophical horror and cosmic dread. And that to me is just that kind of, like it speaks to kind of the draw to these types of games, like and that weird, um like I don't want to look at the cosmic horror, but I need to know what the cosmic horror is. But I think the thing that I love about this, and what I would love to kind of maybe pick up and learn from, even if I don't play it, learn from, is that the interpreting the clues, not necessarily finding them. Because I think that's something as a game master I personally struggle with, and I think I see it all the time. Like, how do I tell my players this thing? And oh, look, they failed the investigation check. Don't have them investigate for the clues. Have the clues there. Have that investigation check to see how well they uh, what they deduce from it. So I'd love. So this is kind of one of the reasons I'd love to pick this up. Also supporting a uh, kind of a Pelgrane Press, UK and Irish publisher. So yeah, that's my other system, and that's available on pelgranepress.com.
And my final, I know it's, I think you're also going to get this next year once the Kickstarter's fulfilled, is Fey Earth. I'm really looking forward to the system. Obviously, I've seen a lot of how it's played. It is played around conventions in Ireland as well. Uh, Neil's been on Ben and Declan on a roll talking about Fey Earth. So I'm really looking forward to next year as that Kickstarter gets fulfilled, getting my hands on delicious little DM screen of the system itself and diving into that sort of not taken and like fantasized version of folklore and mythology. And I know Neil is running, I believe it's called Hidden Folk of the Feywild, which is a bestiary for Dungeons and Dragons of all the research and knowledge that they've put into Fey Earth. So if you did want to sort of take the Fey Earth ethos and then bring it into your D&D game, that's also coming out next year, which I'm looking forward to. I mean, my bookshelf is mostly things called like the Irish Treasury of Folklore, the Good Folk and Tales, but botany and folklore and anything that says, I think the one is Ghost Stories of Portobello. So a lot of my shelf is just stories about, and it's funny because I don't really like horror, but a lot of the books about these things are usually about like this idiot crossed a field and got their comeuppance. And I'm totally into those kind of stories because in games I'm often that idiot who gets their comeuppance. So that's my last little looking forward to next year system, which you can check out, of course, across the internet. If you just type in Fey Earth and type in, I'd imagine Kickstarter, I think also itch.io, you'll find all the stuff that Neil's working on there as well.
I think that's a good spot to take a quick break.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to make a cup of tea. Do you want to explain what people are about to see on their screens?
Yeah, I suppose so. Although this is just kind of a rundown of, sort of a Christmas wish-ified version of Ben and Declan on a roll, we are in some ways parodying a thing that happens every year in Ireland called the Late Late Toy Show. So if you're unfamiliar with this, you should be able to, all around the world, go into the RT player and watch the toy show from this year. I'm almost certain that's a thing. But we have a late night talk show where usually like celebrities and actors and authors and politicians, whatever, come on and talk to this host. Serious enough, but kind of light Friday night entertainment. But once a year, they invite loads of kids into the studio to play with toys, review toys, and it's a lovely way for families to kind of sit down and sort of spot the things that they want for Christmas. But one of the things that they do is they often bring on a school to sing. This is the thing you're talking about. We're getting the St. Mary's sixth form choir to.
Ben, we don't know. Wait,
Did they not?
They didn't know. We can't afford it. Can't afford them.
Okay, so normally some of the kids perform, but it seems like we won't be getting St. Mary's sixth form kneecap cover band coming on this year, maybe next year. So I suppose instead, and one of the other things they do on the toy show is they show off all the kind of bicycles and motorized toy cars and vehicles that you can get for your kids for the year, and they essentially set loose a bunch of kids who cycle and sort of drive by through the studio, and it's some of them can barely ride a bike, and it's amazing to watch them careen into the set and otherwise. So what we did was we took the logos and names and faces of some of our dearest and closest friends and people we love in the TTRPG space, slapped them on a bicycle, and we're going to fire them across the screen in under 30 seconds or less. I think is the best way to explain that. So keep your eyes peeled, I guess. I know Deranged Rhyno's in chat. You'll see the Rhino copter going by. It's I had a lot of fun making it, and it's just as naff as you'd imagine. So as we take our break, enjoy that, I suppose. It mightn't be probably not the last time you'll see it during the show. And
No, there's a couple. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So there's multiple times to sue us. I love how most people are like, oh, let's go, and then Zool's like, what?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
This will make so much sense when you see it. Don't worry.
Yeah. That's for Deranged Rhyno and Jonathan. A little trumpet from Stop the Cavalry. Merry
I loved it.
Christmas, everyone.
Thanks.
Yeah. I once, on a road trip home from Doolin in County Clare, texted into every radio station and got them to play it. So the cars, and because we were playing it all weekend as a joke, so the cars, as we saw in front of us, we could see it come onto the radio station that they were listening to, and I saw people in the car in front look behind and be like, because I did say from Ben, who's making his way home from Doolin in County
And Ben, if you look behind you, those motorists are right there in the room with you.
Am I a menace? Yes, but the good kind.
So if you are just joining us after our wonderful, and thank you so much to all of those wonderful shows, content creators, makers who joined us this year, or we're hoping to join us next year on Ben and Declan On A Roll. Ben, I love that. That was such a cute animation. So thank you so much for doing that. That is lovely.
I've discovered stingers, and I'm a little bit obsessed. So expect stingers for this show next year.
Oh, okay. Okay. It was great. Thank you so much. Look, it's been really difficult for me to sit here and not give this away for the longest time. So again, you've been talking kind of nonstop at me, actually in the D8 Dungeon group chat about Athventure Con and our plans for Athventure Con and what we're doing for Athventure Con. And what are your plans for Athventure Con next year?
So Athventure Con is one of these incredible events every year in Ireland where it's run by the Athenry Adventurers Club, who are a youth club for kids of all ages to come and play TTRPGs and board games once a month. It's an incredibly wonderful committee, but they started to support their youth club. They started running this convention, so it's now entering into its third year. I think it's Athcon 3. Dice Hard with a Vengeance, I think is the subtitle name for it. But this year I'm going down, and I've sort of set myself the mission to only play new systems that I hadn't played before and run some new panels. And one of my favorite things is that not only the committee, like some of the sweetest and nicest people in the space, but it's like a wonderful moment to meet some of the people you would have seen on that ride by on our break, and kind of pull together incredible people in the Irish TTRPG space. It's like, I don't know, some conventions get too big for me to actually enjoy them. And it seems like the bigger this gets, it just gets better every year. Because I think at the center of it is this incredible core of community that brings people together. And because we're all, giving up some time to run games, and ticket sales go towards supporting these youth clubs. So it's just, I don't shut up about it, even though I've got, like, aside from going down and running games, I've zero connection to them, just because they're really sweet. That's why.
Okay. Ben, you're going to want to pop off your crown for like a split, just for health and safety reasons. I'm just getting an ear there from our producer, Roz. So just for health and safety reasons, would you if you just turn around real quickly, just there, right? You just close your eyes real quickly, just turn around. And when I say so, you can turn back. Okay.
Okay.
When I say so. And if you turn back, you can be absolutely amazed and surprised as I welcome Jonathan and Anya from Adventure Con right here, Ben.
You did it, Declan! Hello! Hello! Oh my goodness! Welcome to the inaugural.
Yeah, after this would be a disappointment. This is the zenith of your existence.
Well, it's great to see you. If I was to do the true Toy Show reaction, it would be
and then start crying.
And then swiftly swept off stage into the confusing. You want a bag of seeds? Here you go, kid. 4-seed kid this year. Only got some seeds. Didn't get a trip to Adventure Con 3. Which I presume is what you're saying I'm getting a trip to.
Well, I mean, yes, please.
Yeah. Well, you're
running
all their games in
yeah,
Padel,
you
so
are. Yeah.
You have to be there. Yeah, you have to be there.
You're
you are
running
required.
games,
I need your judgment on certain things. So.
Yes, yeah, there'll be whatever the second inaugural return of the TTRPG Tribunal at this year's Athventure Con. Thank you so much for joining us on the show as our first special guest for tonight's entertainment. For anyone who doesn't know why we're so excited about this, and for anyone who hasn't heard about Athventure Con in February,
I mean, are they under a rock?
I know.
Who?
Yeah.
I don't understand the demographic we're talking
for any
about.
jocks out there who are too interested in sports and not the sportsmanship of tabletop role-playing games, where did this all begin? What is Adventure Con? What's the pitch to any unsuspecting parents who are going to be wrangled into playing at, I think, Declan's table last year? You got the parents playing with the kids.
Yeah, there's a few tables like that last year, really good few. So, Adventure Con is we were part of Athenry Adventures, which is a youth group based out of Athenry, Galway. And every week, for 2 and a bit hours, we entertain around 30 kids, 30 teenagers, in predominantly role-playing. Once a month, we kind of take an easy week and we do board games, which is a lot less stressful, I think, for us. And the voice, I was running last night, so my voice is a bit knackered. We're 3 in March, isn't that right? Oh no, we're 4 in March. Are we 4?
Oh my God.
Yeah, we would be. We would be 4 because So next March we'll be 4, but kind of midway through the first year, we thought, do you know what? It'd be great if because most of the kids haven't been to a con. They're kind of early teens starting off. And we thought it'd be cool if we ran a little con. So we ran a one-day event. And it had a lot of games, I think 40-odd tables were running games. And we had a load of panels and talks, and we had some great guests and brilliant vendors. And it seemed to be a great success. And a lot of the kids helped out. They were all volunteering, where they'd be directing people to seats or, organizing, helping clear rooms and tidy rooms and all that type of stuff. A few of them ran games. And then the second year, which was last February gone, we went to a 2-day event and we increased the number of games. We had about 70 odd games last year. Or sorry, this year. Saying last year, because we're still in this year. Right? Yeah. Technically. And, we had, the kids all helped out again. We had a lot of them running, DMing their own games. We did a couple. And then on the Sunday, we tried to make it more family friendly, where we had a load of the kids at the club sitting at table showing predominantly families. Parents would come in with younger kids under 12s, and they'd show them how to play, silly games like Happy Salmon.
Have you played Happy Salmon?
Zombie Dice or silly games like that. And then
that should feature on your toy show.
Yeah. Great.
You will love it.
Oh my God.
It's literally right there.
It's
the product placement.
30 seconds of mayhem. Yeah. 30 seconds of mayhem a game is all it takes. But and then showing people how to play Catan and Ticket to Ride and all these type of games. And then this year we're coming back for. Sorry, I did the this year thing. Next year we'll come back for our 3rd year at Con 3. So we've expanded again. We've got the DM group that you kind of mentioned in the intro that I didn't hear is because we were hiding, obviously. There's about 50 odd DMs in it. I think this year we're closing in on 50 active DMs. There's a couple of DMs who can't make it this year, unfortunately. But we'll be running around 105 to 110 games over the weekend of role-playing games.
Wow.
Every system. There's I did a count there, and I think we're up to 40 different game systems. D&D being the most popular, obviously, but D&D makes up about 35-40%. And then the other 60-odd% is just everything. Systems I've never heard of to systems that, oh my God, I wish I could play that. And so
I'm sure it'll be a roaring success. It's one of the wonderful things I love about playing different systems. Any new thing I play, and I'm even saying Warhammer is a system of play there. it affects every other type of role play I do. So like I'll suddenly learn how to be a little bit more sort of action economy efficient in say D&D if I get very good at kind of planning ahead and thinking strategically like in Warhammer. On it, you teased up. Oh,
I think just from the gaming side of things, I know Anya has a few little surprises. I don't know if we want to release everything just yet.
Yeah, I have some surprises I have to hold back on, but yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan is sort of in charge of the gaming side, and I'm on the upstairs. So I'll fill you in on the upstairs business in a minute. But go ahead, John.
Yeah, we're like board games. It's not quite a board game, but for this year we are going to have a room where we're going to try a bit of Warhammer, as in the bring your own miniatures and do. But we're gearing it more towards. We've a couple of members in the club who are into it, including one of the leaders who is seriously into it, and he's going to be basically just setting up mini kind of squad battles, 6 Marines versus 6 Marines type thing. To be played over an hour or half an hour, show people the basics of it. So because Warhammer is it's a bit of a daunting world to get into. I went into it once and I thought, Jesus, no way, I'm not getting into this again. But so we just wanted to give people an intro to the game to show them what it's like, and just to show that there's other, because we're, as you said, we're all into the variety. We want people playing as many different board games and as many different role-playing games as they can. So we're going to try that and see what it's like. And if it's good, we'll keep it. And if it's not, we'll ditch it. Yeah. And just on the board, sorry, on the gaming as well. The other thing that we've done is that last year the main hall was, I think, noisy on its day. So no, not unbearably noisy. Like everybody seemed to be happy enough with it. But what we have done is that we have a few little spaces and rooms that are more quiet for GMs or players who are a bit more noise sensitive or uncomfortable in large crowds. So we'll have, I think, 3 slots on the Saturday and maybe 2 slots each session on the Sunday, where it'll be a bit more quiet and people can go up there. And if they want to play horror role playing, they might go up there.
Yes, it's a bit more immersive as well. So it's not even just about kind of easing on the senses, but when you need to sort of play into that sense as well. I know there's some chat about that in our little GM group. And I will be avoiding that because I am a scaredy cat. So I'll be sticking to my fun and playful. And did someone say happy salmon? But Anya, you did tease upstairs because there's it's a con of 2 halves.
Yeah.
It's actually a con of many parts because I know there's merchant halls, there's cosplay areas. There was kind of there was like a circus area last year, or at least that was the theme of the kind of games room outside, if I remember correctly. But specifically
on the Sunday,
upstairs, what's going on there? What can people sort of expect?
So we've secured some extra spaces, as Jonathan was saying. So we have a little bit more room to spread out, which is exciting. And we will have the opportunity then to have people doing kind of active kind of workshops where you have a little bit more of an intimate setting, so you can really dig your teeth into something and really like ask those questions, where in the panel room it can be a little bit more intimidating. So sitting around a smaller table with a smaller number of people and really like get into some of the workshops. Billy from Warlock Leathercraft is coming back over, and he is going to be doing a workshop, and I think this is going to book up so quickly, so we'll look out for this on social media when it comes up. But he is going to be doing a workshop where you can make things, and I won't say anything more. I'll let it go out on our socials, but keep an eye out for that. It's the only thing I think we have that is an extra fee, that you have to pay a little bit extra, but you get to make something really cool out of leather and bring it home to do with TTRPGs, which is super exciting. Did it in the first year. I wasn't able to do the workshop. I asked my darling mammy, would she make me a dice tray? And she said, sure. And I paid for the workshop, and she went and she made a dice tray and gave it to my brother.
The betrayal.
Wow. I might be a little bit bitter.
Yeah. It only goes to show how good quality it is in the sense of, well, I'm
Oh,
going
yeah.
to give this over here instead.
Yeah, and the good news is that you don't need any, skill in making
Yeah.
it, because Billy came down and he ran a little workshop for our club members there summer before last, I think. Last
Yeah.
summer. I don't know, can't remember when. And you basically made us all, well, we made all dice bags for ourselves that kind of fold out into a tray. And I am the least talented person when it comes to those type of things. And by the end of it, I was like, holy God, I could make a career out of this. I couldn't, but yeah, for a while I thought I could. So yeah, but it's really, really good stuff, and it's great fun, and it's nice to have something that hey, I made this type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We also have a really cool cosplayer coming in, and they're going to be doing a talk about how to get into cosplay. And there are going to be another few special guests, which I probably shouldn't announce just yet. There's going to be a really interesting talk about neurodiversity and its link with TTRPGs, which is a passion project of mine as well. So that will be a really interesting one to attend. Jonathan said about the Warhammer. I'm just having a look here at the super secret schedule.
Yes, yeah. Careful
Yeah.
you don't do a Tom Holland on that and reveal the script to the next.
Oh yeah.
People would be pausing and looking for
Zooming in,
reflections
enhance.
Yeah.
There's going to be some things that we had last year that went really well, that were really popular, like the Super Smash Bros. Tournament that the kids really enjoyed. We're bringing back the scrap weapon workshop, where you can go up and make weapons out of recyclable materials. This is run by the cosplay community, so they're really good at that kind of crafty side of things. And we have a lovely backdrop with Athventure Con on it, so the mums and dads and best friends of the grown-up people who go make up weapons can take your photo with the backdrop and the lovely things that you made, and you can do all your poses and stuff. So yeah,
It's
going to be really,
going
really
to
cool.
be such a great weekend. It always is. Something we didn't even touch upon. We did, but like I think it's because we all know each other and we all know why. But for anyone who is sort of new to this, you have a youth club, you run a con. It's for the youth club. We didn't really kind of explicitly say it. It's all the big fundraiser to raise funds for the youth club so that these kids can continue playing, so that you can get more supplies, so that you can keep the club going, which I think is such a lovely grassroots reason behind the convention. I think it's why you see all kind of GMs and DMs around the country like rock in and rock up. In fact, it's one of those ones where you give us a space to connect to each other. So many of my friends in the space I've met at Adventure Con, which is to say a lot. So
That's so
it's
special.
always really appreciated. I suppose because we've got a lot of toys and shows to review. Declan, do you have any questions to ask before I wrap up?
Can I come in on the young people thing?
Yeah,
if you guys go to our YouTube channel, so Adventure Con on YouTube, you can see our talks from last year. They're being slowly released as we promote the event for, I say last year, in 2024, to get ready for 2025. But one of the talks was about how to set up your own youth club. So if that's something that people like were interested in doing and setting up their own youth clubs in their town for playing TTRPGs, we did a talk about that featuring the young people and Youth Work Ireland and myself, and we talked about the process involved. And all of our panels, loads of them featured the young people themselves, either playing in a TTRPG or talking about DMing, because their opinion is just as valid, and they have so much to bring to the table and such great insight, and they really make a wonderful contribution, and I'm very proud of them. They're really great. Not that I have any kind of say over that, but I kind of like some of these kids, just their first time they play is at our table, and then they're sitting up there featuring on a panel and stuff, and that's really I don't know, it tugs at the heartstrings or something, that they are so invested and have gotten so much from this hobby that they kind of picked up in Little Athenry. I love it.
I think that actually, I did have a question left over, and I think Anya, your response there, I think maybe has kind of answered maybe your perspective, but it was like, what is your favorite thing about the event? And I think is it fair to say it is that it's seeing the members, the kind of the younger club members, go from showing up on that first day maybe a little apprehensive to then sitting at a table, at a panel, discussing their experiences and sharing their knowledge with other young people?
Yeah, for sure. I
Mm.
absolutely adore that. And even I'm sure they won't mind me saying so. Two of the club members are endeavoring to set up their own TTRPG. They're writing their own one as part of a school business thing. And hopefully by the time it comes around to Adventure Con, I'm hoping that it'll be done because I really want them to feature it at Adventure Con and teach people how to play the game that they've created. But like, would that have happened if Athenry Adventures never existed? You know, like, would these people have met and created these networks to make them know that there's even that community out there? That's just, I love that these webs that are getting all tangled up together and making this
Mm.
wonderful mishmash of everything. It's great. It's
And
really
it's
great.
great for the kids to get to the con and to meet so many, they get to play at different tables, they get to meet different DM, because up until now, up until the cons, they've generally just gamed with the leaders, the core group of leaders who kind of run their games. Now, we are great DMs in fairness, but at the same time, it's great when they get out and they see that there could be, I think there was 500 people there. One of the days left, like crazy numbers of people were there. So 400 or 500 people. So it's great that they get to see that, and they get to see, oh yeah, it's okay to dress up as a DM in costume if you want, or to walk around with a sword strapped to you and all that, all those type of things. It just gives them more confidence just to be comfortable in being what they want to be like, which is really kind of why we set up the club, was because Athenry is a marvelous town. Like, it's brilliant for sports, but if you're not into sports, there's not a huge amount going on there. So that's really why we wanted to give a place for kids just to relax for a couple hours a week, be themselves and express, and discover more about the person that they want to be. And I think Athenry Adventure Con just opens up so many doors for people, like Connie was saying. So
It's really wonderful. We're not too far away, I think, from a year when I play Hero Quest with my young nephew. He's too young for Hero Quest, to be frank. Play it with him anyway. But I'd say we're not too far away from me texting my brother and being like, "How would you feel about me and your kid? You're welcome too," because my brother would. I always say this about my eldest brother. He's the type of man who would have flourished. He has. He's really super successful anyway. But would have flourished within a youth club like that, because it's so clear he loves tabletop games, but just never had that kind of like entry in his kind of younger years to dive in. And I say to him now, like, you can play now, and he's just like, I'm a dad now, I don't have time. And I'm like, don't worry about it. You can play with your kids. But I suppose
That demographic is covered too.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try get them to play a game over Christmas. I'll be spending Christmas with them this year, which I'm looking forward to. But speaking of the gift giving season, one final question to both of you for myself. Is there anything on your TTRPG wish list? Maybe starting with yourself, Jonathan, and ending with Anya. Anything you're hoping is in that big old stack
that I get for
that someone will give you, or that you've told someone to get you?
Nothing stands out now. I wouldn't be, the diciest person, I suppose. I wouldn't be an avid collector of dice at all. The guys laugh at my pathetic dice collection. So maybe I might look at getting, an odd set or two for the laugh. I don't even know if I have no complete sets, as in they're all the same color or anything like that. Like, it's just
I could probably reach out my hand right now and find at least 3 complete sets. No, make that 6. I think I can reach 6 from my seat.
I would say collectively the amount of dice within arm's reach of 3 out of the 4 people in this call is thousands.
Yeah.
I know there's about 200 up in a cup there, and I know there's probably about like another 200 in this drawer beside me, which will be showing off later in the.
That cubby is just dice, and then there's more. I'm like Anya. I have about 6 sets at hand. Okay, so, yeah. So I think, maybe one complete full set, Jonathan, isn't it?
Well, because we published the game blurbs on Twitter and Blue Sky and talk about the games, and we were talking about one of the GMs, Gus, is running original D&D at the con. So I had tweeted out, and Drew does the Instagram thing, and she said, "Oh, I need something funky. I'm looking for old style dice." And she said, "Actually, there's a picture in group chat of my collection." She said, "I just used that instead, because it's all
perfect.
mismatched." Yeah, and it is. It looks ridiculous. Yeah. So.
Speaking of old D&D, my mum was rooting through the attic, and she found this.
Oh, look at this!
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
And there's one for end of this month.
That is.
I don't even know what it was, because none of us were into D&D when I was a kid. This is something I came.
There's no year on it. No, it just says annual.
1980. Let me see.
6.
87.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
That book is older than me.
Can that?
Oh my gosh.
Shut up, Ben.
Like you were talking about the book corner for your toy show. Here you go.
I think I've just spotted something that's going on my TTRPG wish list.
It's probably done with lead paint.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm running low
I came
anyway.
from that generation. I'm already pre-exposed to it. It's fine. Anya, what about you? What's on your TTRPG wish list?
Maybe the new Dungeons and Dragons rule book. Is that controversial? I always like a physical book. I will never say no to dice. I will have more dice, please. Yeah.
Really?
I should probably. I would love to get the My Little Pony game set. I've borrowed it before. I love it, but yeah, the My Little Pony system is really solid system for TTRPG, and it's also really cute. So,
I think that is literally all we have time for at this corner. So, to Jonathan and Anya, thank you both so much for your time this evening.
Thanks for having us.
So looking forward to Athventure Con next. I was about to say this year, next year, and full details on the website, social media handles and stuff. You'll see in chat over there. So if you're not already following Adventure Con,
Can and will.
If you're not following the convention already on their social media channels, do check them out, give them a follow, get your support behind it. And tickets are available now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
they are.
Well,
yep.
Come here. If you're sitting there going, "Oh, I've got nothing now. I've got nothing yet," you can get some tickets. You can print them off. You can put them in a stocking. Voila! You have sorted your nephews and nieces out for the holidays. So, go get those right now. There's no other fee suite. So, we're going to let you go, and Ben and I are going to get ready for the next section.
Thanks
Thank
very
you
much,
guys
so much for
coming
coming on.
up.
Catch you soon.
See you
Catch
later.
you in the
It's the only
Still as loving
song.
and wholesome as the first time you did it.
Yeah, what's the other one? Why
Why was that Italian?
Ebenezer, Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh man, that's the Christmas carol I want. You're there, boy. Go fetch the finest prosciutto.
Scrooge.
We're coming to the. We've so much to pack in, but we are coming to the end of the show. And in classic Toy Show style, we need to finish in time for the weather and news.
Which is actually 11 minutes ago.
yeah, we're already running out. Who would have thought? The last stream of the year, these guys have been so punctual all year. It's every time I think of it, it is wild that we've done this for a whole year, and I've enjoyed every precious moment of it. But let's bring it to an end for this year. Anyway.
Let's end it. Let's end it right now.
For at least for 2024. We are going to sort of rapidly go through the end of our program, of which we are now into the section. We talked about accessories. We talked about systems. And now we're into what we're calling sort of TTRPG adjacent stuff that you can get for your friends and family who love to gather around the table. And again, if there is anything on your TTRPG wish list this year, please do pop it into the chat. Because there could be one for everyone in the audience. There won't be. We don't have that kind of. We don't have that kind of money. Could be one for me if I want to pick it up.
But we could if we sold out mercilessly to any of the products that's.
Yeah. Anyone want to sponsor this low show? We'll sell it. Drop of a hat. But we will bet first, and we will say no.
Yes, obviously.
Yes. So we're into adjacent stuff. Declan, I know you want to talk about the visual side of things, arts and commissions.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me?
I do, because I'm sorry, like Ben, I'm like art. Like I know you were like I'm so you're very specific with your dice and stuff like that. I think as specific as we are with dice, we are. DMs and players are very, very specific when it comes to the image of the character that's in their head. So I'm not going to sit here and say, go commission your teammate's character, right? Because that's quite a personal thing. You have a vision of what they look like, and unless there's other art references that the artist can commission from, they're going to be going off of your descriptions, but might not necessarily match the player's description. But what I am going to suggest you do is, and we didn't name drop any of kind of the amazing dice makers and kind of stores that are out there, but I am going to make mention of some artists this evening, folks that I have been so very, very lucky to work with over the last year or 2 years when it comes to creating character pieces for D8 Dungeon streams. So it goes without saying that one of my favorite artists and a wonderful friend of mine and of D8 Dungeon and a phenomenal player all around is Ixcato, Ixcato, phenomenal artist and a wonderful, wonderful talent. And we had the pleasure of having Kat on talking about their work, their process, and how they work in TTRPGs with their commissions. My suggestion is, if you were considering getting an artist like Kat to do a piece, is to contact them and say, hey, I'd like to get a commission for a friend. I'd like to, I really want a custom piece of their character. Could I pay for it and then let them know, almost like a gift voucher, effectively? And is Ben taking notes or drawing Declan right now? Most likely drawing.
How did you know? I was just filling in your little heart-shaped eyes.
Okay. For a second, I thought you had me looking like the nurse from Kill Bill, like Daryl Hannah's character.
Change the plan.
Can you please make me Daryl Hannah's character from Kill Bill? That's the one vision of myself in my head that I have. I'm very specific. But I think a commission from an artist, one, it is a wonderful gift to give somebody, and two, you are helping an artist. You are working and you are keeping art in human hands. And Ixcato is a phenomenal artist. I would be remiss if I did not mention Barladera. who has done the amazingly spooky and wonderfully painted pieces for Saving Grace, our Gothic horror series here on D8 Dungeon. If that kind of style isn't your vibe, everybody needs to check out Luca Wilder. Luca is the artist behind all of the character commissions for Random DMs, our totally chaotic Thursday evening stream, where 5 DMs get together to play an established modular adventure for D&D. And the DM is decided by the roll of a D4 every session. And for the last 2 seasons, we've had the privilege of working with Luca on getting their work. I'm going to drop, when Ben is chatting about his piece, I'm going to drop some of the links to these folks here as well, just so you can kind of get it. So I would strongly encourage you to check out, if you are wondering about maybe getting a commission, my advice is to reach out and ask that artist, okay, look, if I pay for it, can my friend get the commission? And so on and so forth. And that way, then there's no worry of like, oh, the hair doesn't look the way I see it, or the outfit's kind of the wrong outfit, or whatever it might be. I really, really like it's a wonderful use of your money. Also, to go back to one of the earlier things we were talking about, for gifts for the DM, we always get art of the player characters. We very rarely get art of not art of the DM. But what if the players around that table clubbed together, reached out to an artist and said, hey, our DM has this amazing NPC, this amazing BBEG, and we'd love to commission a piece of them in your style. And there is a gift from the whole table, printed and framed, or printed and handed to the DM at the end of a campaign, or midway through the campaign, or in time for Christmas, and handing that to them to say, hey, look, we know what we look like at the table. This is what we want you to see, what we see of this bad guy. Again, a wonderful tip for any of the D8 Dungeon crew listening. I am mad to know what you all think of some of my NPCs, and just how stunningly beautiful all of them are at all the time, and not weird at all. I have seen some really weird art of Flim Flam Jim Jam. And Flicky as well. There was Flicky, the kobold art, running around for a while. So just to kind of throw that out there. So you're creating a wonderful gift. You're supporting an artist, and you're being part of that creative process. So that is one of my, if you're looking at art as a gift, and I say this as someone who's commissioned an artist to draw a picture of himself. So myself and my husband got married this year, and I've commissioned an artist to draw us in our wedding suits, but with our cats, because our cats weren't obviously at the wedding. So all of our cats are now going to be drawn into this piece, and I'm going to give it to him for Christmas.
Well, that's very sweet.
Mm-hmm. It's a surprise. No, it's a surprise, and Iso's definitely not watching this, so it's fine.
Fair. I'm also tempted to get the smuttiest, lewdest commissions of Flim Flam, like Sexy Mr. Tato, to that level of greased up 12-pack. So expect that at some point. Maybe not for Christmas, but maybe for your birthday. Who knows? We gotta give the artist some time. But I think that's a really, really sweet gift idea, especially just everyone pulling together, and getting a commission for your DM. I don't know a single DM out there who wouldn't be utterly blown away and cherish that for all time. Because wow, what a wonderful, wonderful thing. My adjacent section, and I'm going to try rapidly go through this, is subscriptions you can buy players and friends at your table, and even things you could do. There's sort of 2 parts to this. Free gifts you can just give to your favorite people online, which is just like heading over and following them and subscribing to them on Twitch or over on YouTube. So I'm going to name call, and this isn't meant to be exhaustive. It's just the ones that I wrote down. But while you are sitting here at your computer, especially if you're at a computer that can tab out, why not tab over to YouTube and go give DM Milkman a follow. Just type in DM Milkman, you'll find them. You'll see them in a little ride by from earlier. Same with the Emerald Collective here on Twitch. You can head over, follow, subscribe if you can. They also have a Patreon. So giving players at your table a subscription to someone's Patreon for a couple of months or for the year or for however much you can afford, always a wonderful gift. And it's sort of that monthly gift that keeps on giving. I know the Emerald Collective give away monthly TTRPG accessories like maps and stat blocks and items. Same for Hearthfire Tales. If you're here on Twitch, head over to Hearthfire Tales, give them a quick follow and subscribe if you can. It's Deranged Rhyno, definitely worth subscribing to. And you often see Rhino at Adventure Con over on Emerald Collective, being on this show. Our very first episode, we interviewed the Emerald Collective. And of course, Fey Earth as well. Have I forgotten? There's probably so many people I've forgotten. So actually, the really important thing here is to the people you enjoy watching, get some of your friends into them by gifting them a subscription or a subscription to the Patreon. And then the slightly higher ticket item on my subscriptions is something I love, and you can almost, I'm pretty sure they encourage this, or at the very least, they don't mind it. They're kind of cool about password sharing, which is sound of them. But get a subscription to Drop It to your friends, because there's all the Dimension 20 stuff on there. So anyone who likes TTRPGs or watching actual plays, there's like 23 seasons, big and small, of like wonderful adventures and stories, plus all this incredible like improv and like comedy content, which is only going to be inspirational and helpful for people improvising around a table. I think it's something like $60 a year. And like I said, they seem to be pretty sound about password sharing. So I'm almost certain they released a promo video this year being like, share your passwords, we don't mind. So because I think they know that their fan base is nice, and when people do enjoy something for a couple of months, they'll probably pick up their own subscription. So yes, support local. And then if you're looking for something slightly bigger, head over to dropit.tv and buy a Drop It subscription. I think it's the like main streaming service or like kind of traditional entertainment I watch, which is crazy compared to all the big names. I always head over to Drop It. I think that's my neat and tidy subscriptions things. There's other things as well, like subscriptions to like soundboards and like audio files for D&D games. You can pick up like nice little like fantasy soundboards. Do a quick Google, but subscriptions as a category, great gift to gift, because it's the gift that keeps on giving every month.
I'll piggyback off that for two quick things. A bunch of those people that Ben mentioned and some others, EUphoria AP, Science and Sorcery,
Yes.
pretty sure you said Dungeons and Naggins, Irish Pubcast. All of those folks, those links are in chat. So if you haven't, you should click those links and just give a follow. Give a like, whatever the platform is that these folks are using, because these are people who are taking time out of their day, their week, their lives, and yeah, it's our hobby and it's something that we enjoy doing. But the work that goes into this, and I'm a weird. I will, Azul. I'll put the links into the Discord after the channel at the chat as well. We'll put all those links in there. I I'm weirdly quiet on social media. I don't really do a lot of engaging in those spaces. But one of my favorite things is I love seeing what people do. I love seeing the work that people put into it, and it is one of my favorite things about particularly the Irish community is there's a handful of us, and you might kind of think, well, Ireland's a small place, sure, there can't be that many. There's a wonderful group in this space, and every one of them are so different. Like there really is something for every kind of TTRPG player. If you like combat driven stuff, or you like role play heavy stuff, or you like alternative systems, there are people out there within our community here in Ireland.
If only there was some idiom that just described that like different people have different tastes, and there's sort of like there's a space for everyone. What would that?
And allow me to educate you on this ancient phrase that carries so much power within it. And it's 3 words.
Divorces for horses.
Close, my friend.
Oh.
Very, very close. Horses for courses.
Remorses for muggins.
Muggins
Think of anything that rhymed with
horses for courses. So
horses for courses, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, I'm telling you, that is going to be the first Ben and Declan on a roll TTRPG. It's just me going, there's horses for courses.
I'm like, yeah, it's good. What I love about it is it makes you seem like the oddball when clearly that's the energy. Like, you are the level-headed one, and I'm the Ernie to your birth. And yes, I seem to have created, in the only way a manic pixie host can, in the sense that I'm the sane one here, when I really haven't.
You're not. You've came on twice playing the air saxophone.
It was a trumpet.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't tell because I couldn't see a
saxophone was down here, I think.
So my second thing off of that.
Wait till I play the air hurdy-gurdy. Sorry, you were saying we need to get out of here.
Yeah, we do. The weather. We're missing the weather.
Yeah.
Horses for courses merch where it's you two in a 2-part horse outfit. Yes. That should be something we commissioned from an artist.
Yes. Yeah.
And me just doing this and you doing the
head part. Yeah. Both of us holding the head part being like, I'm not being.
Second thing I was going to, trumpet only uses 1 hand, 3 fingers. Ha 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 ha. So
I was playing 2 trumpets.
2 trumpets, yeah, 2 trumpets. He's that bard. He double trumpets. Second thing I was going to say, based on those links and stuff that we've shared and that are out there, it takes a couple of seconds to leave a review. It takes a couple of seconds to give a video a like, to give a review to an episode that's just dropped on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever it is. It takes a couple of seconds to leave a very, very quick review. It takes even less time to share it. So if an episode of something that you enjoy drops and you play at a game table and you're like, hey, I'm listening to this podcast. Hey, I'm watching this new show. Hey, there's this group of people. Hey, there's these 2 idiots that talk about horses for courses a lot. Check them out. It couple of seconds to leave a review, less than a second to tell someone about one of your favorite shows. So that is a gift you can give back to people who give their time to creating stuff, writing stuff, playing stuff, performing. My last sort of TTRPG adjacent thing, and I'm a gobbler of books. I know Ben is as well.
Yeah. Just on hinges.
The whole library's gone. I'm going to mention, and there's so many books that I would love to just rattle off. Natalie Haynes' Stoneblind. If you're into Greek mythology, I really strongly recommend Stoneblind from Natalie Haynes. Everything by Trudy Canavan, like literally everything. One of my favorite authors. But what I want to focus on is the work of an Irish author, and their trilogy. It's The Black Iron Legacy from Gareth Hanrahan, and pretty sure e-versions, if you prefer the digital book, are available through a couple of platforms, but mainly that platform that exists, that is out there. The Black Iron Legacy, it's the first book is called The Gutter Prayer. You know when people say I couldn't put it down, I genuinely couldn't put it down. I was staying up way past my bedtime. I was staying up during the work week to keep to read that extra chapter, to read an extra couple of pages, and just a wonderful writer. Gareth is from Cork. Has worked with Pelgrim Press and on Gareth's website for this as an added bonus for free. There is an adventure that they have put out there called The Walking Wounded, with character sheets. It's sort of a self-contained adventure and game, and you can catch all of that on Gareth's website for free. You will not regret picking up those books. other Irish person I'm going to mention, I don't know if you were going to mention them, Ben, but it might segue into the other thing I know you were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Is aside from books, I am a board game fiend, absolute board game fiend, and we would be remiss if we did not mention Dungeons and Naggins from a really good friend of ours, Steve, and it is available online, dungeonsandnaggins.com. I think you still have time to order it now for Christmas.
I believe so.
But you'd want to be picking that up very, very quickly. It is aimed at like slightly older audiences. You don't have to drink while you play it. It is a heck ton of fun. It is really well made. All the components are wonderful, and a great kind of like if you have friends who like I want to play D&D but I don't want to play D&D. It's a it's not a wonderful introduction to D&D. It's not, but it
I mean,
is.
if you play my tables, it's pretty damn close.
It's basically it's a really good intro to Homebrew Quest. But like one of those games that you can sit down with a bunch of people who might be interested in board games, may not be interested in board games, might have heard of D&D but may not have played D&D. It's all those wonderful things combined together and just a load of crack.
And pro tip, especially because we're going into the holiday season, it's a cooperative game. So you know what you're avoiding? Board game rage. You're not getting your like angry, flipping the table, how dare you land on Parkway if charge me. Is that what the name of the most expensive Aylesbury Place in the Irish version? Because it's cooperative, there's less likely that you're going to fight with your family over a board game. So very good reason to pick it up over Christmas time. But yes, I did have this as my kind of. I've collected a bunch of like accoutrements to show Muath style as we. Which doesn't really work because I also
that was in focus, but it was just completely and totally overexposed by the light.
Yeah, the light doesn't make it. It's like. Also useful for killing vampires.
Shit, my secret.
It's not a secret if you keep telling him. So put it together, I'm a vampire. Whoops. Oh, sorry. You forget this.
I'm a lightweight.
Yes, the other little things were this is something I picked up during the year as a nice little ghost holding a D20, which sits usually in the desk above me from Arcane Opal. So give this a little pick up. If you just want, like, if we're thinking like stocking fillers, this is a perfect example of how to give someone a way to kind of full circle display their favorite D20. And it's just the cutest little thing in the world. So cute that my wife, who's not really into TTRPGs, was like, can I have that? And I had to, the first time ever, be like,
no.
No. I'll get you something else, but you can't have this. And up he goes back to his normal place. And then the other things are just like simple things like candles, wax melts, things that you can find. Usually, think back to the last convention you're at, think back to your last merchant hall, the things you wanted to pick up. A lot of your favorite artists and makers and crafters will have online stores, so give them a look. And yeah, Declan's right in that we are the 12th of December, so order quick, order fast. The other thing is, though, I'm a big fan of like Christmas is over and suddenly someone gives me something on like the 29th because it arrives. I'm like, oh, amazing. Beautiful. Extra stuff. Keep that spirit going. Which I think brings us, am I right in thinking we're on to like the best gift we've ever gotten?
One last
more stuff. Yeah.
One last thing. There are so many like we had Aine and Jonathan from Athventure Con join us. Tickets to Athventure Con make a wonderful gift.
Yes.
And especially if you are like, oh, you know, I've nephews or nieces, or I have friends that are kind of interested in it. A weekend away in Galway is ideal for everybody, and a weekend in a hotel with really wonderful, lovely people playing games, and with everything else that happens, because it's not like Anya was saying, you know, there are all the games downstairs, but There is all the workshops, the panels, everything else that happens outside of it. There's the trade hall. There's the crack in the evenings. That makes a wonderful gift. Like, and it's I've been learning an awful lot of that lately. That it's not, you don't just have to give stuff. You can give an experience. So
Yes.
a ticket to something like Adventure Con is a really good one, and that we would be remiss if we didn't mention other live events.
Yes.
So D&D in a Castle from D&D Era. Now a lot of this stuff is kind of up in the air at the moment, but these are people that you should be following. You should be checking out because they put on events as well. Hearthfire Tales,
Mhm.
the gang over there organize live. I was about to say in Smog Alley, but
Smog.
they should rename it for their shows. They should be renaming it for their shows.
And Dylan should put on a mocap suit.
Yes.
Crawl through the audience.
The lads over at Hearthfire Tales put on shows in Smock Alley. Steve Bennett from Dungeons and Naggins has live shows once a month.
Once a month in the Mob Theatre, I believe,
Yeah.
on the last Thursday or the first Thursday, but they're very good at promoting exactly when that is. There's
Yeah.
also Divergence and Dragons, I think, is another improv based up here in Dublin, if you're in Dublin. But if you're pretty much, I think I was looking this up, if you're in Europe and close to Berlin, Tales Hall Here, a good friend of the show, Jacob, runs an improv show there. He happened to be in Toronto, as I know some people sometimes are. These are just places I've been. Check out Sex T-Rex. They do D&D live once a month in the Comedy Bar. But my point being that a lot of big cities, if you look for it, will have a live D&D improv show. And if they don't, the gift could be improv lessons, and then the next move could be do a little D&D live improv show. Do a little show.
just put on a little show.
Do a little show.
Okay, that's the last bit from me, and we will the links, everything we've talked about. Ben and I will start composing a little thing, and I will pop it into the D8 Dungeon Discord. So if you want access, if you want to find out where all these people are and how to follow them, how to pick up copies, you will spot them there.
Because I guarantee I'm going to find more and more stuff around the table. Like I just picked up Rookie DM's card, which was there as a reminder to head over and pick up like systems to run because they constantly run little adventures. Not little adventures. It was like my but you can buy games and systems. La Leon obviously does some wonderful systems you can pick up. But just head over to Drive Through RPG, have a look around for what you like and what you think your table will like, and pick up they're always reasonably priced, like a fully fleshed out adventure that you can run for your table. Speaking of running a game for your DM, you could do it with very little prep. Pick up a game that's already been made. I think I found everything around me that needed to be shouted out. And I think if we haven't, we've definitely shouted out in chat, because I know I kind of rattled through my list and forgot a few. Hard to read. This is about dice being easy to read. But yes.
You need to get a journal.
Whoa! They make paper that big?
They do.
But very quickly, in case I forgot anyone, Adventure Con tickets, head over to It's a Map, get some maps, Hearthfire Tale live shows, and subscribe to Patreon. Deranged Rhyno, give you a little subscription on Twitch, and we're Collective as well. Dungeons and Naggins, you can pick up the board game, you can go to a live show. Fey Earth, Science and Sorcery over on YouTube, Sorcery Shenanigans, DM Milkman, obviously, Rookie DM, EUphoria, and Hexes and Vexes. Did you mention Hexes and Vexes?
No, we did not. And I'm going to get murdered by Emily because I forgot to give Ben the thumbs up for the use of Hexes and Vexes logo. So as is, look, to be fair, what usually happens whenever Emily appears on a D8 Dungeon game or stream,
somehow twice, one more time. Gonna appear in chat.
No, I'm not. I'm not jinxing myself. It's almost wake up time for Australia, so I'm not jinxing myself. But what I am going to do is, as means of apology, I am going to put the logo giant on screen right now because I didn't. And I look even better, Emily. I'm not going to cover Ben. I'm just going to put it over my face, and it's snowing. And there's the Hexes and Vexes logo. You need to check out Hexes and Vexes. Emily is a phenomenal player a wonderful DM and a great friend, and she surrounded herself with some absolutely wildly funny, talented folks, and they are telling some incredible stories together. So you really should be following Hexes and Vexes on Twitch, on Instagram, pretty much on every kind of platform, and we will include them, of course, in the links for the end of the over on the Discord. Okay,
What do you think it tastes like? I know blackcurrant.
the
Like,
potion.
Yeah.
Spite. No, Emily, it tastes like spite.
Sprite is the could be.
No.
No.
No, that wasn't. Okay.
It wasn't
Gift.
Bravo Taco.
The best
gift we've ever got.
One of the best gifts we've ever got.
Yes.
Okay, go for
Mine came from a D8 gift exchange. And I, to this day, do not know who sent me this. And it's one of my, and it came as a shock. It's this poetry book called Field Guide of the Haunted Forest. And to show you why it's so good, because the poems are, big and small, I'm just going to pick a random page and read you a poem. This one's called Century. Kindness, gentleness, empathy. These things are fires shining in the forest night. They must be tended, but in tending them, we are illuminated. We become a target for things that thrive in darkness. So as ever, love is risk, and as ever, worth the danger. Like, I cannot tell you how often I just pick a page from this book and read something that kind of blows my mind a little bit. It's always just that's so true and so deep. But yes, one of my favorite gifts I've ever gotten is this poetry book by Jared K. Anderson. And it is just beautiful. I've based entire campaigns around poems that I've found in this. So well worth. You don't have to pick up this specific book. Pick up a book of poetry, and you will find inspiration.
Oh crap! Someone must have said Emily's name a third time. She's appeared.
What Jansen?
It's Ben, and see, I told you that potion tastes like spite. Look at that in chat.
I don't know. Tastes like blackcurrant blueberry bubblegum to me.
Emily, since you've joined us, and in case you missed it, you probably missed it. I forgot to tell Ben that we had the okay to use your logo in the thing, so it didn't make it in. So by way of apology, I had the logo appear where my head is, and I said some really nice things about you. Anyway, so that's all you're getting out of that. One of the favorite things I've ever gotten was a couple of months into starting Romancing the Dungeon. I got contacted by somebody who was listening to the show, and they said, "Hey, look, I've made something, and I want to know if it's okay to send you something, because like you don't know me and yada yada yada." And I was like, oh god, that's mad. I thought it was just my mom listening to the show, and even then she probably wasn't listening to it. So I was like, yeah, that would be epically cool. And it was followed, so it's this it's a hand stitched, I'm gonna say crocheted, I think it's crocheted.
Cross stitch?
Cross stitch. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. It's a cross stitch of a saying that I open pretty much every episode of Romancing the Dungeon with. And that arrived in the post. And with it was a message of kind of how they found the show and kind of what it meant to them. And I don't know if Chelsea watches the Twitch channel at all, but I got that at a particularly low point when that arrived. It was kind of weird. It was kind of almost, I don't know, it was a bit like serendipity or whatever, but it arrived on a time when I wasn't in a great headspace. And I did cry. And it was all kind of nice tears. And over the years of doing this stuff, I got a bunch. I've had people send emails kind of about the shows or like characters or moments in it, and people saying these things are, that they've themes in the show or moments in the show have resonated with them, and I'll still never forget someone cursing me out, in a nice way, as we took a season break on a big kind of like cliffhanger in season 2, and them telling me that they were sobbing in their car on their way home for Christmas, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I mean, great, but I'm sorry. So for me, one of the best, I guess, what I'm trying to get at is one of the best gifts I've gotten, especially because of TTRPGs, and this is being able to connect with so many amazing folks. Like I was following Homebrew Quest for a long time, and being able to reach out to Ben and say, "Hey, I'm doing this thing, and like, will you come be in the thing for like an episode or two?" And then immediately Ben leaving and being like, "Oh my god, I really want to ask Ben to be my friend and to be in the show permanently." um
Look where that goes.
yeah, horses for courses, huh?
Horses for courses. I've heard it so, like, I don't know if you're paying people, but I've heard it in my life out there in the wild.
I promise you, I am paying people.
Just walk around and saying it.
But like, even I guess, look, I'm going to use my last few seconds to say a big thank you to everybody in chat. Whether this is your first stream or you drop in occasionally, or you're here a lot of the times, I really appreciate seeing people pop up and interact and leave a comment. And that goes the same for Emily. I love when Emily takes the time out of their morning to drop in, say something to rile me up, and then piss off. So I, and I do there's been so many great people who've kind of like who drop in and hang out with us. But I not to single a person out, but Zool44, you've been here kind of since the start of Ben and Declan on a roll, and yeah, big thank you for joining us nearly every episode and hanging out and adding your thoughts to this. And yeah, that's it from me for this one.
Wonderful. Yeah, chat, I could take you or leave you.
What the hell's chat?
There's a cat nearby? A French cat? What?
Le chat.
Yeah, le chat. Stay grand. But yes, I can only echo that, and Declan is putting towards something better than I would be able to. So please do take that with you into the festive season. We're going to end in a sort of like childish is probably the wrong, but like, if we could get anything in the world, what would we get as our big kind of like, what's your big ticket item end of the show? But before we do, there's one more surprise. For you, Declan. Check your emails while I tell people about my big ticket item. So have a little look there, because I got you 2 things this year. And they won't be surprises because we've already talked about them on this show. So you have a little read of that while I tell people that my big ticket item.
No, Ben, there's nothing in my emails.
Yeah, I got you nothing. It will. There's an attachment. It's slightly.
Okay.
So it'll be there. No. Psych. You get nothing, nerd. But my on my wish list at the moment, something I want to play and something I'd love to get, but it does kind of retail. You can get it. You can get the digital version of it, but the sort of full physical edition looks incredible. Is a game called City of Winter, which is this role-playing game that like lays out on a map with tokens and cards, and it's this like fantastical family saga played across these handmade maps. And if anyone knows me, they know I love cartography and maps. In fact, even I suppose another thing to do if you wanted to get a gift is print people out maps. So like when I go down to play Romancing the Dungeon, I bring this map down. Not that it actually helps, it's not accurate, but something I really love is maps. And this game seems to be all about it. So for around 25, you can get it digitally, but the actual like full physical game looks incredible. So that's kind of if I could get anything in the world, that's what I'm going to get. I see it hasn't. It's in my sent, but hang on, it says it sent a minute ago. I sent it to. Imagine I just sent it to a different deck. I don't know. It's your personal one, not the D8 one, but it should be there. I see your picture. I see you're in your little hoodie. So I can. Maybe it will be there by the time you talk about your. Oh, it's it could be in the spam folder.
No, I checked. I checked.
But I have not heard of Cartograph by Raven's Ridge Emporium. This might be another thing on my wish list. So thank you for that recommendation. I'm going to give that a look as well.
My big ticket item.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous because it doesn't actually have to be a big ticket thing. But a table. I really want. I really would love a table for, because I play a lot of board games. You can see kind of one of the Calyx units behind me kind of overflowing, and there's another one there, and there's some above us as well. And there's a part of me that would love a table for specifically that hobby, but then that would also double as a recording space for D8 Dungeon stuff. Every time the gang come down, it's pulling the table out, setting it up, kind of getting everything clipped in, and there's a lot of furrow with it. And the table we have is a bit. He's seen better days. Has old table, yeah, like so for me, and I'm not talking. I don't want any of those like big, massive. Like I realistically, what I would love is I'd love someone to show me how to make one. And I know someone's got Declan. It's 3 pieces of timber. It's not that hard. I'm like, yeah, it is, because I'm not that great at that stuff. But I really would love a that as a kind of that's my big ticket item. I'd love to spend a stupid amount of money on a really nice piece of furniture. Oh my, that is
Fair.
terrifyingly
No,
grown
I
up.
get it. I really get it. It's a good place to sit and gather. A table is everything. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm clearing my, just in case. Sometimes when you try to send an email that's big and you don't have enough space, that might be the problem. So that would be what I'm trying to do at the moment. But I don't want to, I don't want to have to email stuff in a way that causes any problems for you. Did it come through? No?
Nope.
Still not through? Weird. So strange. I can tell you what it is.
Is it because hang on, because I also have a lot of space on mine that is sitting there, and I could try and clear some of that up. That might help.
I think it should be. I think it's 9 megs. I can tell you what it is. No harm in letting the chat and everyone else in on it. So, in the email that does or does not exist, there are 2 things. And one I wasn't sure about because I tricked you last week by asking you a question, and I lied to you. I pretended I was looking for a TTRPG system for my brother, and in fact, I was looking for one for you. So I have picked up a copy of Fabula Ultima.
You snake.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not sure if you have it or not. So alongside that is the offer to run a game for you as a DM, or if you really want to DM it, wrangle up all the players that you need and do the kind of scheduling hard part of the TTRPGs. So I have Fabula Ultima for you, and then on top of that, a little game called Trail of Cthulhu is on its way to you, so you can go to read just the digital version. I know you like physical books as well, but the game that you were looking for earlier should be being sent to you if it goes this way. So something to read over Christmas and something to look forward to when I eventually play. The only reason I'm hesitant about running Fabula Ultima is I don't know the genre as well as you do, so that's why I'd be like, you might prefer to run it or not, but it's kind of full circle on the show. The things we were talking about: run a game for your DM and pick up systems and stuff. So both of those theoretically should be in an email.
Absolute sneak. You sneak. Well, just in case I was like, well, Declan didn't get Ben. I do. I have gifts for Ben. um, just like Ben's email, I also have gifts. That's ridiculously
You're
kind.
more than welcome. You are more and more than welcome. And I'm looking for it's also, it's really a gift for me. We get to spend more time together. So it's really a selfish gift.
Wait a minute. Listen, this has been, Ben, this might be our longest one. This is 2 hours and 18 minutes. Freshly baked croissants. Thank you. Oh, oh God, now I want a freshly baked croissant. The actual croissant, not the person.
No, I
sorry.
want that person. I can't get you that, Declan. I'm so sorry. Well, if you turn it right. OBS?
OBS. We're using Ninja VOD to get the videos, and then OBS, and then Ben and myself do the overlay magic stuff. Ben did all the Christmassy stuff for this.
I hung the lights. I put the presents out. I put the which is definitely clearly snow on the table, as is Toy Show tradition.
Definitely OBS. We're not using Zamata. I don't know what Zamata is at all, so I might have to look into it. That is all we have time for this evening. It's been 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 27 seconds as I'm saying that. It's nothing much is the matter with you. I fell for that. Why do I fall? Like I am. Which one's the cranky one? Bert and Ernie?
Bert?
I am the Bert. Bert falls for everything all the time. Thank you, Freshly Baked Croissants. Yeah. I am the Bert. You have confounded it. Well, from this Bert and that Ernie, we're going to see you, hopefully all of you, next week for our week-long charity stream in aid of Limerick Animal Welfare. I'm running the first game on Monday. Ben, you're on Tuesday. Tendai is on Wednesday. Then there's a whole bunch of us on Thursday for the last episode, for the finale of Random DM's Dragon of Icespire Peak. And Tom closes out our week on Friday evening. We are hoping to raise €1,000 for Limerick Animal Welfare. And it is such a difficult time for everybody financially. I know that. But a donation to a charity in somebody else's name is a wonderful, wonderful gift, especially when it goes to a cause like Limerick Animal Welfare, an animal rescue and shelter with a no-kill policy. Zool, we will be bringing D8 Dungeon Drive back. Emily, according to my calendar, I must check in with you tomorrow. We have that notification sitting there since the end of August. So I will be checking in with you tomorrow, Emily, although it's technically the 13th for you. So Zool, if you missed the Christmas stuff, we do stuff again around Daffodil Day, and we also do stuff in the summer as well. So we're bringing D8 Dungeon Drive back, and myself, Emily, and Amber are up to planning that already. So I think we're aiming for a ridiculous goal for the next one, but more on that next year. For now, from myself and Ben, a big thank you for joining us here every Thursday for Ben and Declan on a roll. Ben, I think we'll keep this going. We might keep rolling. We'll roll into the new year.
Another year? Yeah, why not? Yeah. Bigger, better, faster, stronger? Probably not. Longer, maybe.
Longer, definitely. Behind time and over schedule? Yes, definitely. All those other things. And Zool, to answer your question very, very quickly, Daffodil Day is a day that I think it's predominantly Ireland and the UK, but it is in aid of the Irish Cancer Society or the UK Cancer Society, and it's all about raising funds for cancer research. So we usually run some charity streams around that as part of a national campaign to raise money for cancer research. Folks, we leave you with one final message.
Yes.
We would if I hit the right button. Now we leave you with a final message.
See you next year.
'Twas the night before D&D, when I went through the den. Not a Declan was stirring, not even a Ben. The dice were laid on the table with care, in hopes of the nat 20s that soon would be there. The sheets were put out for the players to use, a wizard, a rogue, a monk to choose. The D8 crew do mighty good things, from charities, from games, being the best human beings. With Declan and Ben, so handsome, so slick, and all the D8 crew, so full of wit. From all of us here, and all of you there, I wish you the best Christmas time we all get to share. I hope we see you all, I hope we get to laugh, but most importantly of all, I hope we get to have a lovely time. Merry Christmas, look after each other, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.